back stronger.
Yeah.
Speaking of bouncing back from a loss, Rolly came back. Rolly's back, baby.
Rolly came back.
New face of boxing incoming. We got a world champion on our hands at 140. Rolly Romero came off that TKO victory against Ismael Barroso, I think.
Barroso, yeah.
Barroso, a Venezuelan.
Yeah.
And let's just say there's a lot of controversy surrounding it. Yeah. So, how'd you guys feel about that fight?
Well, first off, I believe I believe Gervonta Davis took something out of Rolly, in the aspect of aggression and the aspect of just confidence in general. Yeah, this fight was did not go anywhere near where I thought it was gonna go. You know, everyone expected Rolly to just absolutely just dismantle this guy, right? You know, to just knock him out cold. You know, early on in the fight, and end of it, and then become a new world champion. But it didn't go that way. Barroso was getting the best out of the exchanges. He was timing Rolly every single time, and he even dropped Rolly in the third round with a left down the middle, and Rolly went crashing down. And even after that moment, Barroso just kept on just doing what he was doing and just kept on working. And I felt Rolly made no adjustments whatsoever throughout the fight. And that round 9 was a little controversial, let's say.
Yeah, just like you said, like nothing went according to plan that night. You know, it was this Rolly was going in a 10-1 favorite. He was going against a 40-year-old Venezuelan. You know what I'm saying? Already at the end of his career. This fight was for him to bounce back from the Gervonta Davis loss, come back with a clear, spectacular knockout, and cement him as a world champion at 140. And it did not go that way from the opening rounds. I'll give
credit.
Not some credit, but like I won't criticize Rolly as much. I think he was trying. I think he was trying a new style. He was trying to like box more. During the whole build up to this fight, he kept on talking. I don't know if you guys saw, but he was very like humble, very much less outspoken than what he was against the Davis. People were saying that he learned humility and stuff like that. And throughout the press conferences, throughout the build up, he kept on talking about patience and how he learned patience and this and that. And I think that's kind of what he was trying to do. He was kind of trying to be more patient, trying to like learn the boxing side of fighting because just like you said, his other style was like being very aggressive, just like going after him, just going crazy on his opponent, smothering them with punches and aggression and pressure. So I think that's what he was trying to do. Executed very poorly, you know. And Barroso was there. He surprised me, you know. Barroso he's a smart guy. He definitely has power. Just like you said, he has timing. He timed them very well. He did get caught in that 9th round, and he was definitely hurt. But the stoppage was very, very bad by 20 weeks.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that every time, and this is not the first time, this is not going to be the last time this happens, where a boxing ref comes in and stops it prematurely or stops it when it shouldn't be stopped. I feel like something should be done, though, to those referees that just stop it way too early or just it's very controversial. So I feel like something should happen.
Yeah, because this is not the first time. Like this is age old in boxing. There's a reason some people and there's a stereotype that boxing is corrupt. And to some part, it's true. Like because it's like, what is this? Like what just happened? Like come on, like this is absolute bullshit. I'd be furious if I was Barroso. I was winning the fight. Like I would be so angry. And just like you said, I think there should be some type of like suspension or something, a fine to Tony Weeks, something to like show the public that you're putting accountability to those people, because it's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to Barroso. It's not fair to the public. It's not fair to the world champion. It's not fair to Rolly even. Like this is not a bad look for boxing, and boxing is looking for someone for them to finally put the foot down and be like, hey, no, you're going to take accountability for this because you messed up. You made the wrong call. So you're going to have to live with it.
Yeah, and it's really tough once you put money into it because, like, a 10-1 favorite.
Huge favorite.
Barroso needed to knock him out in order for them to give him his belt. Yeah, because I know damn well Showtime was not going to want a 40-year-old to be
As a world
as
champion.
a world champion.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so Tony Weeks did his
his due diligence.
due diligence.
You know, he was looking out for the fighters. Yeah, he definitely he messed this up big time. Yeah, Rolly was not looking good. This was not a good
Not a good one.
not a good showing for Rolly after his loss. Nothing went according to plan. Like,
He after the fight and the post interview in the ring, he called out Ryan Garcia. What do you guys think of that fight? A 140 fight between world champion Rolly
Rolly.
against Ryan Garcia. What do you guys think of that fight?
I got Rolly by KO. Honestly, I'm not sure because like earlier I would have said Rolly, but after this performance, I'm not sure. I got some doubts about Rolly now, and as well about Ryan Garcia. We saw in that Davis fight, he has a ton of holes, but those holes can only be exploited by a master counterpuncher like Davis. Like Davis was able to piece them together because Davis is a world-class fighter. Davis knows what he's doing inside of that ring. He knows distance. He knows range. He knows when his opponent's overreached. Like, Davis knows how to counterpunch. And in this fight with Rolly, I think that's what Rolly was trying to do, trying to counterpunch and, like, be on the back foot, like, time him. And he didn't do a good job. It showed that if this is the style that he wants to continue with, he has a lot of work to do. Yeah, he was not a very good counterpuncher. He did counterpunch a couple times. He did land some clean shots on Barroso, but it was few and far apart. It was he missed so much opportunities because Barroso was giving him plenty of opportunities.
Yes.
You know?
He was there.
Yeah, he was there to get countered, and Broly didn't take advantage of that nearly as much as he could have. So, I feel like that'd be a good fight. Garcia and Rolly at 140?
Yeah, very good fight. I think since there's sparring footage of them sparring, and I guess you guys can look and
viral
who
viral
got the
sparring
of the sparrings. But I think there's a lot of things to take into consideration if they were to fight. Do we think it's like the question is, do we think Rolly is better now, or do you think he still has that like after a fighter gets knocked out, you never know if they're back 100% or not. We're not sure. That left hand that Barroso landed on Rolly, it wasn't on chin. It was more like up here. Yeah. You can't say credit to Barroso because he does have that puncher's. He does punch. He does pack a punch. So we don't know. Rolly not being able to let his hands go or even touch a guy who's way slower than Ryan Garcia and who's shorter. Well, it's like, Ryan can just use that to his advantage. Just keep him at bay, long hand with the jab. Very much quicker. Use those legs to move around. And Rolly doesn't seem to have a really good sense of being able to cut off the ring effectively and then letting his hands go.
Yeah, I do think Rolly still has that dog in him because at some points in the fight he was standing there and he was going forward, but then in other points he just literally just running around in circles. So I think it was a clear decision by him what type of style he wanted to fight. That's why I'm saying I'm not criticizing him all the way because I don't think that because he showed that in some points he was going forward and pushing back Barroso. I just think that So there's still a lot of unknown. I think it's a great fight because both fighters have a lot of doubts surrounding them right now. So a fight like that, which is a very big fight, very big fight, could prove that they're back, or it could prove that like they're taking it serious. It could prove they're ready. So I think it's a great fight. Two fighters who have doubts, and they can solve their
Who's still young too, as well.
Yeah. I think it's a great fight, honestly.
I think it's a fight that we'll definitely see down the road. I don't know how much longer.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be next. Boxing. I don't think it's gonna be next, but hopefully, yeah.
Even that's the thing. Rolly, I think Rolly's time as champion is very limited right now. So if he wants to get the most out of getting these championship fights, getting these big paydays, he needs to be doing it as soon as possible because. Let's face it. If he tries to unify and he tries to fight another champion like a Matias or a Pro Grace, a Taylor, he gets molded. He gets destroyed. I'm sorry. He does. He's the weakest link out of all the champions. And I think his based on his performance too, people are having big doubts about him. So if he wants to make big fights, maybe not fight another champion, but maybe just fight someone else. He should start doing them right now. Try to get a Ryan Garcia fight ASAP. Get that quick payday. Maybe even win. If he wins, then he's set up for more big fights as champion. But no, I believe his time as champion is very limited. Very limited at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to try to unify anytime soon. Maybe the other champions would try to. I don't think he really wants to at this time.
Matias and Prograis.
Yeah, Matias and Prograis, there's some real killers in that weight class. That at the very top of them, at the very top of that weight class, like there's some killers in there. So, Rolly still, and just like we said, he's still young, and he only has 16. This is only his 16th fight.
Yeah.
So he still has a lot to learn. He still has a lot to learn. Hopefully he's taking it seriously. Hopefully he's willing to learn and grow, and continue to make these big fights happen. Because he's a big name fighter.
Yes.
He does have a big name.
Yeah.
He has a following, and he's entertaining. People like to watch him. And this fight definitely didn't show that. But like in general, in his past, Rolly is a very entertaining fighter. So hopefully he learns, gets better, and puts on more entertaining fights as a champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very excited to see what